Hello everybody, it's Basilisk here, and welcome back to another episode of Sunless Sea. So, I have docked here, and there are a few things I had to do while I was in the dock, and I had got a new objective. I have to... Where was it? Maybe it's not showing in here. I got given some stuff that I need to take to Mount Palmerston, which is apparently northeast, and I've still got a job to do finding the Iron and Misley Company funding station. Made a couple of notes because there's a lot to actually keep track of here. I managed to repair my ship. We're a bit low on supplies and fuel, so I hope that we can do something here. I had to sell pretty much everything that I had. Full power of the engines. Just going over the different options. So northeast, generally northeast was where I was supposed to go. To this Mount Palmerston place. So let's see if we can find it. The Hunter's Keep. That's where those three sisters were. That's right. So if we come this way, that fuel is going down so quickly, and so's that hunger. Oh. And our money situation is not good. Do I see that when I go in here? Yeah, 29 echoes. Is this guy going to be a bad person? If we attack him, can we actually get anything good off him? Maybe? Let's see. Map. Do I see anything yet on the map? No. Okay. Coming up on some mist. Our Terror. Oh yes, I also got a tattoo, which gave me extra veils. Oh, there is. Oh, one of those guys again. Let's try and do a better job of this time. Swing around and fire. Did he take more damage or did I? He took more damage, so I can get him. Assuming I can... See, he is faster than me and more maneuverable by the looks of it. Okay, I got him without getting hit, and then he got me. Oh, ouch, did he get me. It costs quite a lot to repair my ship, so I'm not looking forward to having to do that again. Oh yeah, this is good. Come on. Come on. Yes, and hopefully one more shot without him hitting me, that would be good. And we got him. Okay, and let's see. Jellyflu's End. Scoop it up. Perhaps you can eat it. Better yet, perhaps your sailors can. Yeah, I'm not eating that. Give it to the sailors. Let it disperse. Watch its oil rainbow colours fade. I wonder what is better here. Let's get it. That adds some supplies. A barrel of former jellyfish. Will wait and behold like a cup of dissolved moon. One day you will eat it. Or perhaps it will eat you. Gained 1 supplies. Okay. Go. And what have we found up here? We are also getting low on hull again. Yeah, so I got a tattoo which gave me extra veils, which is what I'm kind of leveling up at the moment, I think. And it reduced my terror and gave me one of something else. I can't quite remember. Oh, what's happening? Okay, now close that. Discovered labyrinth of eels. Okay, that's where we are. Labyrinth of eels. Go through there. Generally northeast of Fallen London, so maybe I need to go more up and to the left? This way. What have we got here? Saints Haven. That isn't where we need to go, but let's pop in for a visit. Okay. Two houses, both alike in dignity. On a lonely desert beach, there is no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. Old rotting dock. A stretch of sand thickens into damp black earth from which sprout stunted palms. Not quite. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. Let's see what's there. War? As you step on to the quay, you hear clamour, shouts and shooting. Uh-oh. You can see off in the distance, smoke rising from beyond the hill and dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. The tale of Pigmote Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Okay. There's a lot of reading here. The figures were rodents. To my left was the Rattus Faber, wearing gloves, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig, wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. Welcome, Captain, to Ratstar Island. I am Edgar, second chief engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat stepped back at precisely the same moment with what appeared to be the ease of a long habit. The guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Caviar. I am Lady Augusta Devereux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches. Seneschal to the King Gracenor, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. Do I get to choose which of these different factions I will support, I wonder? The two stood at attention, looking at me expectantly. Okay. I spoke to the chief engineer. His eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. I spoke to the seneschal. How did the armoured guinea pig manage to look regal? Okay, let's speak to them. A rat in the making. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. We came to this island to make a home for ourselves, away from London, its cats and snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nodded towards the distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Kevi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? What does the seneschal have to say? A king out of habit. The seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess' own before speaking. Grace nor the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land, and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city waits to be left for him to gain. Save the rats, what squeak behind mountain? Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance, assured shall be our glories in their fall, when our lady's eye restored to our hall. The seneschal composed herself, then added, We saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Caveat, but the rats with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? So, if we can believe them, the rats stole the eye thing from the guinea pigs. Did it sound like the guinea pigs were there first? I don't know, this is all kind of in a poem thing, so I'm not sure on that. To be honest, guinea pigs, I'd probably prefer guinea pigs to rats, so I think we'll go with that anyway. Ready to make a choice? Okay. Yeah, my fondness for London's rat skin coats. Attempted to broker a peace. Will I get anything out of it if I broker a peace? Let's try that. My words helped them reach agreement. The chief engineer and the seneschal shared a look, then regarded me with scornful amusement. Yes, smirked the chief engineer, you're obviously much cleverer than us. Oh, much, murmured the seneschal. You clearly know us much better than we know ourselves. Apparently idealism would not help here. Okay, let's go with the seneschal. A friend in Kevi's. I bowed to the seneschal, who purred with pleasure while the chief engineer gnashed his teeth but kept his distance. You have chosen wisely, Captain, said the seneschal. Come, and I will explain our situation to you in greater detail. Okay, 1 supply and 1 fuel. Chapter 3. Oh my goodness. Okay. It is a book of the whole story, the whole game. It's all about tales, so I guess this is a big part of it, learning the tales that are going on amongst this land. So the seneschal led me to the southern side of the island. Skirting the chicken woods, we passed through a number of raised mounds of earth mixed with fortifying strips of mushroom flesh, which I supposed to be makeshift walls. The settlement was dazzling. The side of the island appeared to be absolutely wreathed in scintillack. The Cavi's dwelling was awash with silver phosphorescence. It was a large colony. Most noticeable was the steam pinnace, the impossible lamb, that had run aground, from which Cavies came and went, bearing supplies. To the right of the ship, farther down the beach, a large group of Cavies lay on bundles of colourful cloth, whining and wailing as if in pain, and to the left of the ship was a ramshackle tent of poles and linen, in front of which guinea pigs clashed against each other and sharpened their teeth. In the centre of the village was a covered dais, veritably festooned with colourful cloth and guarded by well-decorated knights. I suspected this was where King Gracenor kept council. Be welcome, Captain, in the kingdom of Caviar, capital of our isle, and blessed by the light of Our Lady's eye. The seneschal spoke solemnly, but with a hint of sadness to her words. Or so it was, and shall be again. I must speak with our king and prepare your arrival. My page will show you the area and bring you in sight of his splendour in good time. Page! A much smaller guinea pig, its fur braided with a slender strip of parabola linen, scurried over and bowed. The seneschal took her leave. Okay. Visited the hospital with his guinea pigs quarantined. I visited the steam penance on the beach. So indeed the impossible lamb. Overrun by rats. I guess that's how they got there. I visited the barracks. What chance could guinea pigs have against the weaponed might of the Rattus Faber? Okay, let's visit. Oh, there's so much to read. I visited the hospital. I've already read all that. The Black Death, an elderly-looking cavvy greeted me and eyed me gravely. Many of us sickened during the voyage, a rotting in our teeth, a weakness in our flesh. This isle was our salvation. The stronger among us made a pilgrimage towards the pool of Our Lady's light, and then, miracle of miracles, they were cured. They bathed in her, they drank her sweet waters, and the strong brought weak to her in turn. Soon we were thriving again, bearing our children and raising them to love Our Lady's eye and see in it our deliverance. The elder looked sorrowful at the sick under his care. Since the rats stole her, the sickness has returned. All this light is but a mockery of hers, and we gain from it no benefit. The only thing, the elder's ears and voice flattened in a hiss, that helps our condition is the flesh, the very hearts and livers of the rats who stole her from us. Okay, I guess the rats are bathing under the light, and then it gets into their livers and so on. Interesting. Okay, so that's the hospital. The impossible lamb. Okay. The chalky shore. The page chittered while I inspected the vessel. Rats never the splendour of Caviar overtook this vessel. I was born here, the first native of Caviar, but all our elders remember the voyage. It was hard, they say, but we were harder, and the sea is black and unkind. We were lost in the darkness for weeks, and no one speaks of those terrible times. But out of the darkness came the light of Our Lady's eye, guiding us here to our own isle. In time we will ride the waves again, perhaps once we have recovered our eye. Is it not splendid? It certainly may have been at one time, but I could see the hull had been severely damaged by the Skintillack reef. There was no way the Cavies could hope to repair it themselves. Whatever the page said, they were stranded here. Visit the barracks? The page led me to the barracks where the knights didn't deigned to speak to one so undecorated as I. The page, however, was eager to answer my questions. The rats have no weapons, none to speak of. What is a gun without a bullet, a sword without a blade? Ours are the supplies, the knives, the soft stuffs, and the glory. Their teeth are sharp, it is true, while ours, the page hesitated as the knights glowered at him, are sharper. All praise to the flowers of a house of Cavy. One knight preened while another grunted indifference, working a whetstone along its top front of teeth. As I watched, a particularly vigorous swipe knocked a whole incisor out of place. It landed on the ground in the black and bloody mess. The knight gasped, grasped for tooth, and vanished from sight. Another glared in a way that dared me to make something of it. Okay, well, I've read all that. Let's go see the king. I'd see enough audience of the king. Okay. The page led me, crouching at first, and then on my knees before King Grace-Nor and the seneschal. The king was the largest guinea pig I'd ever seen, easily twice the size of the largest knight in his retinue. The seneschal looked positively dainty next to him. "We are told," intoned the king, "that you have promised your assistance to the house of Cavy. This is agreeable to us, but what form shall your assistance take?" I had nothing to offer but my advice. I would not risk my own crew on this potentially doomed venture. I offered to retrieve the lady's eye by force. I had guns. I had a boat. I planned to row a raiding party to the northern side of the island where the Cavies could flank the rat settlement. Tough challenge. 38% chance for success. Oh. I plotted to steal the eye with cunning. One should use shadows to catch a light. The rats would not even know we had been there, probably. Your veils. See, that's where I put my extra points into veils. Quality gives you 79% chances of success. Let's do that. Okay. I plotted to steal the eye with cunning. Read that bit. Slow to strike, I spent a few hours scouting the rats' shorelines, determining the best point of approach. There, a cove thick with chickenwood, too small and cramped to fear the mooring of a boat. My crew rowed me towards the very knife's edge of shadow cast by the blazing eye, and I carefully swam the rest. From shore it was an easy enough matter to pick my way towards the settlement, and once I was within 20 feet of the eye, I sprinted. I stumbled, flailing into the light of the eye. This was a terrible plan. What? Did I fail? Flailing into the light. It's a terrible plan. What possessed me to think running towards the light was a good idea? "Protect the star!" they shouted as they launched themselves at my legs and arms, sinking their teeth into my flesh. It was all I could do to shake them off in the water as I struck out for my boat. My crew watched in horror as the beasts clustered my limbs like fierce, furry leeches. Got some terror. Okay, so I can try again. 79% chance. I would be very surprised if I failed twice. Okay. I spent a few hours scanning the rat's shoreline. Okay. I sprinted. The rats shouted in alarm and scurried towards me, but my legs easily outpaced them. I smothered the eye in my wet clothing and bound with it towards the boat, waiting in the shadows, while the rats around me fired wildly into the sudden dimness, wailing their loss to the sea. The Cavies rewarded me suitably on my return. Okay. conflicted. Okay, my Pigmote Isle civilization quality is now unexceptional. I have gained some fuel, 10 more. That's very good. Succeeded in the Vales challenge. Hail caviar, new occurrence. Your Pigmote Island might quality is now 4. Vulnerable. We didn't get much supplies out of it, but we got some fuel. I guess. Oh, there's more that we can do. The rats were defeated. Caviar was triumphant. All that remained were the celebrations and the continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night. I invited one of the cavies to join us. Excellent swimmers. Guinea pigs. This became lean. I thought maybe a guinea pig stew would buy the crew a day or two. Okay. Survivors were being treated poorly, but the rift did not seem entirely insurmountable. Let's talk about this. Generous in victory, I appealed to the House of Cavi's grace and good breeding, and praised King Grace Nor's magnanimity. It's a hard word. Perhaps the rats knew not what they did in stealing the eye. Perhaps they were only stumbled about in the dark for a light, as the cavies were themselves while lost at sea. The seneschal and the king exchanged a look. The seneschal murmured something into the king's ear, and he purred decisively. To err is marine, to forgive caveen. He looked towards the chief engineer. If you will cede all right to Our Lady's eye and help us place it back in its pool of holy pilgrimage, and if you will agree to terms of tribute, trade, hissed the chief engineer. King Gracenor chattered his teeth, but the seneschal stepped forward and raised her voice. Perhaps further negotiation is possible. As we left, we saw the page timidly approaching an albino rat to inquire about fishing nets. Okay, spirit quality optimistic, and I found peace. Oh, let's invite one of them. Welcome aboard. Seneschal couldn't, but she made certain requests was cried around the village. The page squeaked excitedly and sought permission from her to join my party. I record your doings for the glory of Cavi, he declared, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before lifting anchor and setting off. I now have a guinea pig. I already had a ferret. I now have a guinea pig. Okay, we'll go back to sea. You finish your diary entry and final morsels of delicious rat flesh. The cavies line up and salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new kingdom. New nation has been found. That's all for now. You have one port report. Oh, that's good. Get money for that. Continue. And this will be where we leave off this episode. I think this one might have ended up being a bit longer because of this large story that we had going on here between the guinea pigs and the rats. I wonder what would have happened the other way. But it seemed to work out okay in the end. And they now have their eye back. So, until next time, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you again later. Bye!